Hey, Buzzheads, Curtis Tucker here with Enid Buzz. I am back for another episode of the Enid Buzz podcast. If you guys are listening to the podcast on your favorite podcasting app, don't forget you can go to youtube.com/Enid Buzz and you can see a video version, see me waving at you right here, and check that out. I'm going to start kind of intermixing kind of updates of what's going on in Enid on some of the podcast, and then other episodes I'm going to be interviewing people to find out what's going on around Enid, Oklahoma. Today's episode, I'm going to be interviewing Jeff Bemis with the Stride Bank Center, and we're going to be talking about what it takes to get different acts to come to Enid, Oklahoma, and some of the difficulty in making that happen. But just want to encourage everybody to continue to support the Stride Bank Center by attending as many concerts and events there as you can. And if you guys have an idea for an event or would like to host something there, they can help you guys with that as well. And Jeff will have more information on that. And also, it is time to announce we have an official sponsor for the Enid Buzz podcast, and that is Enid Auto Body. So if you guys need any auto body work, hail dents out of your car, or just a little bit of paint, call the folks there at Enid Auto Body. You can get a hold of them at 580-234-5492, or you can go online to autobodyteam.com and you can get a virtual repair estimate online there. And Enid Auto Body only uses OEM, original factory parts, when they replace parts on your car, unless you ask them not to. And they also do a lot of work for the insurance companies. And if you didn't know, you guys, when you have an insurance repair, you guys can pick the auto body place that you want to do the repair. And so choose Enid Auto Body. They're located at 3121 North Van Buren. So we appreciate Ken and the gang over there for supporting the Enid Buzz podcast. And on that note, here is Jeff Bemis. Enjoy the show.
Hey, Buzzheads, Curtis Tucker here with Enid Buzz. I am out and about on a beautiful Monday. I am at the Stride Bank Center with General Manager Jeff Bemis, and we are going to talk about, acts coming to Enid and coming to the Stride Bank Center. I know you had explained it to me really well one day, where there was like 3 different categories of events or acts coming to Enid. This was, it was like there's bringing in a big act where there's no guarantee whether you get paid or not. Right. Then there was like a middle, bringing in some kind of maybe a smaller act where maybe they pay a little, and then some, and then
what you're talking about is how we go about with risk with the show.
Exactly.
So the way we do that is we try always and want to always work with a co-promoter. The co-promoter takes 50-50 share with us, or sometimes we, depending on the deal, we can give them more or we take more, depending on how we work the deal. But we always want to try to get at least 50-50. That takes the risk off of us as Stride Bank Center, as the city, so that, if we lose money, which we never hope to do, obviously, but if we lose money, we split that loss with another promoter, with a co-pro, with a partner. If we make money, we split that same cost. We split ticket revenue once the act is paid, whatever they're asking for. Once they're paid, once all the expenses paid, everything that's left over, we split 50-50. So the things that are left over, once expenses and everything paid, we pull off the ancillary costs, which are food and beverage sales, merch sales, anything like that. If we have an extra suite and we sell it, we get, we'll take that money and put it in the pot for a 50-50 split. Then there's where we take on the whole risk, which is not as advantageous to us. I mean, if a show doesn't sell, we take all of it. If we we've had shows that we've lost, $50,000-$60,000.
So the big acts, like the big names, are those mostly like that, where they kind of want?
Well, it really boils down to what a promoter can bring to us. We work with several national promoters that will come to me and say, "Hey, Jeff, I need holds for XYZ band," and they work it out that, hey, we're going to route them through Enid, and we'll co-pro with you, and then we split. The co-pro in taking risk on our own doesn't really rely on the size of the band. It really is determined by if a promoter is going to come to us, and bring a show to us.
Okay.
I do it a little bit backwards. I'll find an act that we think, well, that's going to work great. We think it's going to work. I'll reach out to a promoter and say, hey, you want to join in us? Jeff Dunham, for example, an agent brought Jeff to us and said, hey, you guys want the show? I'm absolutely, but let me see if I can find a co-promoter or partner. And we had a partner jump in with us to take on part of that risk.
Oh, cool.
So we made money on the show. So we split some money with a partner that we've used before.
So how did that show go? Was that a complete sellout or pretty close?
We got real close. We were like 225 tickets short of a complete
Wow.
sellout.
I mean, that's pretty good, though.
Yeah. I mean, the bottom line for me, obviously, I want every ticket sold. I want. If it would have sold out, that would have been my first sellout as a GM. So I was, come on. So it was exciting to get almost there, but the bottom line is if we make $1,
then
I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
Not making money is miserable, and people, you hear about that in the news when we're struggling here, and we've struggled, So I'm hoping it's turning the corner on us.
Yeah, well, and I think everybody can understand that COVID kind of hurt, in general, everything kind of slowed down a little bit. I've had people, and maybe even you or the guy before you had talked about casinos.
Mm-hmm.
How do casinos play a role in preventing us from getting certain acts in Enid?
Casinos, they print money.
Yeah.
Let's get down to it. So a casino books a band, and a lot of the shows you see at Hinton or Newkirk, and no fault of their own, they're booking great acts. I mean, Little River Band, for example, over at Hinton, I went to the show a few months back. They can pay $100,000 plus for a Little River Band, and the building was 3/4 full. They're going to lose money on that concert.
On the concert.
But they know you're going to stop at a slot machine or at a table on your way out, or you're going to eat in a restaurant, so they make money on their ancillaries more so than we can. So they muddy the water for us, and it does make getting shows a little more difficult. It drives ticket prices up, or guarantee price for shows. I mean, I'll throw Rick Springfield out there. Really would love to bring Rick to Enid, but he's over $100,000, and love Rick Springfield to death. I'm an '80s kid, and I love that.
Yeah.
One of the shows back in the '80s that I went to see, but he's 75 years old. Bless his heart, he's still out there rocking it, doing a great job. But $100,000 plus is a little much to pay at this point.
So is there for some reason it seems like at one point somebody told me that there's like a geographical mileage of if one act performs at a casino, they don't want to go to a venue that's within a certain amount of mileage?
It's called a radius clause. Every contract we do has a typically 120-mile radius clause. So, we're getting into Hinton, we're getting into Newkirk, Concho.
Gotcha,
El Reno.
okay.
So, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, obviously we're not getting into those, but we still have to be careful.
Yeah.
Obviously I want shows that aren't going to play anywhere else in Oklahoma. It broadens my marketing square footage, or whatever you want to call it, to get to people, to bring people in. We have people that travel from Southeast Oklahoma, from Dallas, from Kansas City for shows. So, the radius clause, we have to be careful of that. We have them, other venues have them as well, and I also look outside that radius clause. If folks of Enid, if you see a show over in Tulsa, hang out, maybe make sure we're not going to get it. I mean, the bigger shows, if it's a Justin Timberlake or a Blake Shelton, as much as I would love to have that a notch in my belt, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Could we fluke and get something like that? Sure, but we're not going to get those shows.
Yeah.
But
which I think everybody's got to understand that.
Yeah,
we're just a smaller venue and smaller.
And if we do get those, you're going to pay. Your ticket prices are going to be $300-400 for the front sections. We might get a $99 low ticket price, and it's hard to do that. So,
yeah. Well, then talk about like the other type of concerts or events that you might get? Because this might be for some people out there, because I know there have been some people in Enid that have brought outside bands in themselves.
Yep.
So what if we had somebody in Enid that was friends of a middle of the road band that had a really good following? How would they go about booking that band in Enid?
Reach out, get a hold of me. I'm here, Monday through Friday and sometimes Saturday and Sunday, depending on what's going on. Don't hesitate to reach out, bring it to me. The big thing is we got to make sure tickets are going to sell. We get a lot of those folks and I love getting ideas. I love people saying, hey, I want to see, we got always somebody pitching Gary Allen, or a lady pitched Brett Eldridge, which is a great name. But, one or two people pitching that name isn't enough.
Yeah.
We put surveys out. We put a survey out and, asking people, who do you want to see? We might we'll get the top tier. We'll get the Rebas, the Blakes, the Jellies, and all those guys, which, again, 9 chances out of 10 we'll never see. But, we might only see one or two Molly Hatchets, or, those middle of the road, bands, one or two people saying Styx or whoever it is, and I'm just throwing names, but, if there's an act, folks, come together. Come to me with, if you can tell me 1,500 people will come to the Stride Bank Center for certain shows, and I can get to a 1,500 break-even point, that works.
Is that kind of a break-even point? Is 1,500, or is it kind of depend
shows,
for most?
It depends on the guarantees, depends on the expenses, what the act is looking for. We look in two categories: the guarantee. If we get a guarantee in the $40,000 to $60,000 range, and the expenses can stay in the $40,000 to $50,000 range, you're looking at let's just say even $100,000 in total cost to put the show in the building. We could, a 1,500 ticket sale would get us to a break-even point.
Okay.
Maybe a few less, depending on how we price our tickets. And I try to price the tickets. Obviously, those premium tickets up front are going to be a higher dollar, but our P2, P3, P4 lower level tickets are going to be where I build in our break-even numbers. I'm not going to break even selling 600 P1 tickets. I need to break even selling those lower dollar tickets. That just makes it feel more comfortable when bringing a show in.
Yeah, but it seems like in the past, and it may have been before you were here, it seems like I remember like a guy doing promotion on his own, and like he paid.
Yep.
He paid for some of, or I don't know if he paid for all of it, or maybe, so if somebody like had $20,000 and they wanted to take a risk and bring a band in, I mean, you would work with somebody.
We could do a rental. Obviously, if we felt comfortable about it and we sat and talked and we really felt that the market was there, obviously I have to get my approvals from my boss. Boss is not only on the OVG side, but at the city side as well. The city manager, I have to get their approvals for shows. But if we could really calculate the risk and determine that, Curtis comes and says, I got $20,000 to bring Molly Hatchet to town, let's do it. And Molly Hatchet's a $50,000 act, and we think we could sell a break-even amount of tickets, we would talk.
Okay.
Or I'd rent you the building.
Gotcha.
I do have those promoters that come to me and, hey, we'd like to do this show, but okay, well, rent the building from me if you feel so confident. I don't feel good about it. I'm nervous, bottom line is, for example, the I Love the 90s, everybody I think is excited about it, but everybody wants Boys to Men or Nelly or something like that. Guys, I want to bring those guys to town, but let's sell out I Love the 90s and show that genre is going to work for us.
Yeah.
Let's pack the house for that show. Show me that it's going to work.
Yeah.
I'll bring them to town. If you could look at my walls and see what I got hanging on my walls of the people that I've had the opportunity to meet and work with, and shows that I've got to see. I'm a music junkie too. Last week Loverboy and Sammy Hagar in Dallas. So it was an amazing night, fun night, and I've got through the rest of the year. But I'm as big as music junkie as anybody else is. But
we've got to kind of prove it. I see people online that'll complain when you announce a new country act, but though the country acts seem to sell tickets, so you guys are going to go with the acts that sell tickets.
Yeah, we have to look at those. When I got here, it was explained the 4 C's: country, classic rock, Christian, and comedy. Obviously, bread and butter. But I want to bring new. I don't want to recycle shows every time we turn around. I want to bring new stuff to Enid. I want to bring Oklahoma acts to Enid. There's local acts that I've been trying, and I'm going to continue to try to get that, are Oklahoma based. But we have to show, Enid has to show us that they're going to buy the tickets.
Yeah.
Before I can book a show, before I can get the city manager to jump on board, because we can't, obviously can't lose money all the time. My mantra is let us entertain you, and I'm trying to get away from the thought of money all the time. I want to see people laughing and have a great time, but there's a fine line that we got to walk.
Yeah, and I think that's what it seemed like that was the purpose of building this, was to bring entertainment to Enid. And I think what people have to understand is that even though the event center doesn't make money, you've got to factor in the hotel and the restaurant and the things that people do when they do come in for a concert. They may not add to your bottom dollar, but adds to the city's bottom dollar.
Yeah, we working with Visit Enid, who falls under us. We work with Rob Houston on an economic impact calculator. So every show we give him data from the show, and that data goes into this calculator, and it's industry wide. So it's pretty well proven that it's giving you good numbers, but it'll tell us that, okay, XYZ band was, we lost money on the show, but it brought $1 million to the local economy, and that's huge. Yes, I mean that there are those that understand that, and everybody needs to understand that. Yeah, it sucks to lose money.
Yeah,
but it also, if I can bring 1,200 people to town, or 100 people, 200 people to town, it still puts money in the city coffers.
Yeah,
So,
and
economic impact is huge.
Yeah, and they buy gas to leave. And that's why one reason, we're doing this little podcast episode is to kind of try to explain to people out there, why maybe we're not seeing the big acts that we used to, or, there's a lot of factors that go into you guys bring, it's just not.
Well, and let's be honest, we talked about COVID a few minutes ago. These acts are wanting more money nowadays. I mean, I mentioned Rick Springfield, and there's others that, 100,000 plus that, again, bless their hearts, they're working hard, but are they worth that much money anymore?
Yeah.
And I'm not dogging the guys. I love them. I love every one of these acts that I want to bring, but I can't promote with my heart.
Yeah.
But at what point do you tell these guys, I can't, we can't go there anymore? But people will pay it.
Yeah.
The casinos are able to, or wherever they end up.
Yeah.
Looking,
Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to be sure and point out, was because we went up and saw Cheap Trick in Newkirk, and you just knew, and it wasn't, I don't think it was a sellout, but you knew, and the tickets I think were fairly cheap.
They're cheap, yeah.
But you knew that the point was to get people into the casino, see the concert, and then of course most of the people are going to want to go and gamble and maybe spend the night
have some
stay in one of the
beverages,
rooms.
have some food, yeah. No, I mean we live our ancillaries here. We live on those. Those are important to us. So you come to a show, have a couple of drinks, have a couple of sodas, whatever it is you take in, have some popcorn, have all those things. Obviously we've got some improvements to do on our processes. We don't have enough shows, we get out of practice.
Yeah.
That muscle memory, or we don't have enough shows and it's hard to keep staff on. So we struggle. So give it, be patient with us. If you're standing in a long line, I see it, I get nervous. It makes me squirm when there's a long line. But we're getting to you as fast as we can, because that money is important to us.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and that's, you're talking maybe trying to get in the venue, and that's just let you guys know, buy your tickets either online or come up here. I'm at the second floor of the old convention hall, get your tickets ahead of time, and then you avoid the lines, and then you guys kind of know a little
Yeah,
better of how many tickets are selling. And
Yep, buy your tickets early. If you buy them up here, you save on some of the fees. We're Ticketmaster building now, which is, for us is great. And I was excited to see everybody embracing Ticketmaster on their phones at Jeff Dunham. We're Ticketmaster really, in Ticketmaster and OVG. OVG is one of our things is sustainability. So if we can save a tree by not printing ticket stock, folks, be willing to take your tickets via text or.
But there are the hardcore
Absolutely
that we want that ticket stuff.
I've got my photo album of all my tickets from when I was a kid, and it bums me out that you don't have those anymore.
Yeah.
But buy your tickets soon, early and often, getting in the building. There's challenges to getting in this building. It's a beautiful place, but there's challenges getting in the doors.
Yeah.
We've got the security checks. We've got everything that we have to do to have a safe show. And just be patient in lines. Have a great time. Get to know your neighbor. We'll come out and entertain you if we can.
There you go.
So.
Yeah. It sparked a thing that we probably need to talk about. And I'm an internet guy. I pay attention. I kind of know scams and things, and I've been got before. But be aware that when you do buy tickets online through Ticketmaster, to go directly to Ticketmaster, like type in Ticketmaster.com or using the app is using the app is the best thing. But what happens is some people will go to Google and type in Jeff Dunham Ticketmaster. And the first website will come up and it'll say Ticketmaster, Jeff Dunham, Enid, and you just assume that first link is Ticketmaster because it says Ticketmaster. It's not. Those first 2 or 3 are usually not scam websites, but they're going to overcharge you.
They're overcharge you. They're bulk buying communities or sites. We try to regulate those, but it's impossible. But yeah, like Curtis says, if you're not using the app, if you're gonna search Jeff Dunham Enid, make sure you find the StrideBankCenter.com. Matter of fact, don't even search Jeff Dunham.
I was going to say,
go to StrideBankCenter.com.
Yeah,
and we've got links that'll get you off there. If join our cyber club through the website, you'll get emails that have the direct link to us. So. Yeah, it breaks my heart when somebody comes in and says, I spent $300 on a ticket and our highest price ticket is $50.
Yeah.
So there's scammers, there's profiteers, there's whatever you want to call them out there that will take advantage of you. And there's nothing I can do about it. Like I say, it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Make sure you buy a couple drinks if you can at that point. But,
I know.
StrideBankCenter.com. Ticketmaster app, join our
I think
club.
the app is really the best deal. Now, we've been going to a lot of college football games, so I've really gotten used to using apps to buy tickets. But we went out to UCLA to see the OU women's basketball, and not even thinking, I hopped online and OU, UCLA tickets, and it popped up Ticketmaster, and I think I paid $100 per ticket, and we were off to LA, and we were sitting there, and somebody mentioned, tickets there was hardly anybody there, and like, oh, I can't believe there's not more people here when the tickets are only $35, and I'm like, $35, I paid $100, and then I realized that I had bought the tickets off one of those websites. It wasn't Ticketmaster.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, reach out to us here at the building. If you see a ticket price that just doesn't look right, call us. We'll get you set up straight. Come visit us. Our ticket prices, I dare say we will rarely be over $175. Rarely, unless it's a major act. Then you might see that. But I'll throw names. If you see a Reba McEntire, if you see a Blake Shelton, if you see a Jelly Roll, or something like that coming to Enid. I'm not saying that's happening, folks. Don't get excited. I would love to, but if you see those acts and you see those higher prices, 9 chances out of 10 probably going to be the case. But when in doubt, reach out and ask us before you buy them. It truly breaks my heart to hear people, and I have to say I can't do anything for it.
Yeah.
It's money that I'd rather you spend on buying a T-shirt.
Yeah.
You know, buying a drink or some food. So.
Yeah. So let's talk about events other than concerts. Like if some, I notice you're having a lot more like vintage markets and, things like that. So what's the difference between booking the grand ballroom and the big Stride Bank Center? Like if somebody were to want to put on like an event, like what would you need to get to use one versus the other?
Well, I mean, first off, if you have an event that you want to book, first off, I'm going to give a shout out to Nicole Forbes, our marketing manager. She's the one that's doing the vintage market, the Plaza Market, the Odd Oklahoma, and these different shows. She's the one that's the brainchild behind those. So thank you, Nicole, for making those little shows happen. They put money in our pocket if we're talking about that. But if you have a show that you think you want to put on, we have the Comic-Con that comes out of Colorado. He reaches out and we put him in the big room. But if you got a show, I think her name is Shelly, that works the market, the Saturday markets.
Yeah.
She's been a long time client of ours. She just reaches out and we set the dates, and we work with you on pricing. Come up with what works best. We're going to have to come up with a fair price and not overcharge. But if you've got an event that you're interested in, reach out to us. We can make it happen. Whether it's a vendor show or a party, a quinceañera, any of those things that we can host weddings. We can do it all. So reach out to us. We've got a salesperson that will work with you. You can call me. We'll make sure the dates are available. But it's just a matter of booking and making sure we have the date. That's the big thing.
Just give you guys a call and work out details. And you guys can, and I've seen it, you guys can divide the big space in half if somebody doesn't need the whole space.
We've got, the grand ballroom can be either the whole room, 2 rooms, well, 2 and 1, or however you divide it down, 3 rooms. Our Benson here on the 2nd floor can be 2 rooms. And then up on the 4th floor, we've got multiple rooms up there.
Yeah, I think we re-rented this for one of our high school reunions. So if you're looking for a venue for your high school reunions, definitely come here, because what I liked was we did everything downtown, so nobody had to drive. Yep. We rented a space here, the Benson, for the kind of the dinner and the event. I think you guys actually might have moved us downstairs.
Yeah, we probably have.
But then we walked across the street and I rented the ballpark so everybody could kind of hang out the ballpark. And then the steak place was open at that time, so we went across the street. And then for a high school reunion, it's kind of nice to keep everybody downtown, and then they can walk to all these venues and nobody has to drive, because there's usually drinking involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
But definitely consider having your main event of your.
And we have an on-site chef. We'll work with you, and we can make pretty much whatever you want to eat. Yeah, and like Curtis says, stay downtown. We've got the Glow right next door. So hotel, you don't have to drive. I mean, that's the big thing. Stay off the streets. Enjoy yourself for the evening, and get to your room safe afterwards. Yeah.
And speaking of that, that's another deal. Is I kind of remember when people were talking about the hotel downtown, whether we needed it or not, and there was always this talk about conventions and conferences that they weren't going to come to Enid, to the Stride Bank Center, if they didn't have a hotel right near. Has the hotel increased any of that, or is that?
We're going to go back to the good old, that C word of COVID. Before COVID, before I got here, there was a pretty good flow of conferences. Visiting, and again, does a great job in working on getting conferences here. But we're seeing those conferences go back to, the discovery or the invention, whatever you want to call it, of Zoom and Teams, all these online virtual platforms, has created a new way of doing things. Conferences aren't traveling as much, and if they are traveling, they're going to, they're starting that circuit again where they're maybe doing the city or Tulsa first, and we'll get there somewhere in the routing. I know, again, Visiting is working real hard to get these things here, but it's, COVID, dadgummit, has changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's made things more challenging.
Well, I know trying to get a movie theater to Enid, COVID has really screwed that up, and that's kind of part of the reason people can't get loans, and people going to theaters is down, and more people are streaming.
yeah, it really changed the way we do things. I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
But if there is somebody out there, like let's say somebody lives in Enid and they were part of a organization that has a yearly conference,
Come see us.
I was gonna say, come talk to, bring people in. If you guys go to some other town every year and I know that when we did dance with our daughters, it was always Branson, Branson, and then before Branson, because it was kind of the finals, there was like Midwest City, but. I think your venue would. I know Hype has their
Hype and McIntyre.
Yeah,
I
McIntyre.
wanted to say McIntosh, but McIntyre. We're working with a couple different cheer.
Cheer
business.
would be a great thing to have
we're
there.
working real hard to try to get cheer here. I mean, our new booking philosophy is more youth events. So cheer is one that we got to get here, and we're on the cusp. We're right there. Don't take your event out of town. Come here. We've got a great venue. You can be home in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Sleep in your own bed. You don't have to pay all those extra fees. And we'll do a great job taking care of you.
Yeah, but and I think the new talk around town, and I've always said Enid needed to find their identity, and I think we found it. And it's going to be sports.
Yep.
And so bring your MMA to the Stride Bang Center. Bring a big wrestling championship, real wrestling to Enid. Maybe junior college wrestling. We just got soccer. It would be great to get maybe wrestling or something here. I know there's some guys that bring in basketball tournaments.
We do the high school basketball tournaments. We do Squirtle. We do Skeletor in January, February time. We do the high school wrestling here. We've batted around the idea of doing college exhibition basketball, college. We could. I don't know if they do college exhibition wrestling or not, but those things would be great. Yeah, I'd love to bring in professional wrestling.
Oh no, that would be.
If I could find, WWE would be amazing. But we're challenged by the number of seats and in what it's going to cost to do that. And again, I don't ever say never.
Yeah.
But we're near Texas. As much as I'm not a Texas fan, but we're near Texas. There's some great professional wrestling from the Texas region. So been trying to find that for fun too. Again, all falls back into let us entertain you however we can.
Yeah.
So.
Well, very cool. So what? Let's talk real quick about what's coming up. What events do we know about, or concerts that we know about that are coming?
We've got a pretty good lineup right now. We've got the December 5th. We've got the I Love the 90s with Montel Jordan, Rob Bass, and Tone Loc. A little funky Cole Medina, Wild Thing. And then December 20th, we have a great, man. When I got the email from the promoter for Ted Vigil, I about fell out of my chair.
I showed it to people too, and they're like, "Oh, that's a picture of
John Denver."
John Denver, and I said, "No, it's not John Denver, but this guy looks just like John Denver."
He's a dead ringer. And just a little history lesson about John Denver. And I don't know if you know this. His family, his daddy is buried. His granddad is buried down in the Corn area.
Oh.
My father-in-law actually grew up with John's dad.
Wow, I have relatives that grew up in Corn.
Yeah, Corn, the Cordell area. So his mama, golly, I'm going to space it. Pulpa, maybe? I may be wrong on that one. But she's also from Oklahoma. So John's mom and dad and grandparents are from, Southwest Oklahoma mainly. So great history. But yeah, Ted Vigil doing a John Denver Christmas special. Guys, check him out.
I was going to say, that needs to sell out, because if you're a John Denver fan at all, you're really going to think you're at a John Denver concert.
You're going to lose it. It'll choke you up.
Yeah.
If you love Rocky Mountain High and all those songs, but that'll be in our ballroom. Tickets for all these shows are on sale right now. We just announced comedian AJ Wilkerson. He's kind of a TikTok guy. I think he's autistic, but he's very, very funny. Seeing him on TikTok, he's
Let's say those are the guys you want to come see, because they'll make it big, and then you'll be like
oh my goodness,
Stapleton when he came to, nobody thought he wasn't that big at the time.
Right.
So
he's and the guys, his shows for mature audiences only. So it's not for the kids. We really trying to make sure people understand that about the comedy shows. some folks were a little upset about Jeff Dunham, and I've been to. We did and when I was in Anchorage, we did a Damon Wayans show.
Oh.
Everybody's thinking my wife and kids. No, no, I got chewed out. It was so dirty. But anyway, so we got AJ Wilkerson. We've got some others that we're working on that are right there. I just was dealing with an agent a few minutes ago that hopefully by the end of the week we'll have some dates for an early, kind of a cool, I'm just going to say hair bandish type show for 2025. That'll be fun. Hairball. Folks, I'll bring hairball back in a couple of years.
I think that's kind of almost become a tradition where people are kind of expecting that because it's just one big party.
It'll be back in a couple of years. I think every 2-3 years for those.
There you
go.
Shows. Yeah.
Jeff Dunham, we've already kind of talked, and hopefully in 2-3 years we'll bring him.
Oh, well, good.
But, and there's some other things that are brewing out there. We've got Christmas parties coming up. We've got the Plaza show or market coming up again, and just breakfast with Santa in December. I already can start planning.
I saw that. Yeah.
So come out and have breakfast with Santa with the kids, and we've starting to build our lineup. Starting to get it going.
And then, how much are you guys involved in the ice skating rink?
We help. We help manage it in the way of staffing.
Okay, but so if you hadn't heard, it is coming back again for another year.
Yeah, it's going to be in the parking lot, and same as it's always been. I don't know, we haven't heard if there's any changes in pricing or anything, but great opportunity. Let's hope for cooler weather.
Yeah.
No storms, no rain, no wind.
Yeah.
When I got here and they said, "Oh, we got an ice rink," I'm like, in Oklahoma?
Yeah, outside in Oklahoma.
We're using synthetic ice, but it works. But we need to hope and pray for cooler weather.
Yeah.
So.
I think we've got cooler weather on like towards the end of this week, so hopefully our hundreds will be gone
thankfully.
And see how that. Quick question: the Oklahoma basketball, are they coming back next year?
You're talking about the Enid Outlaws?
Outlaws, yeah.
Yeah, Enid Outlaws are coming back. As far as I know, we've talked about it, and they plan to be here.
Good deal.
So we look forward to that, folks. Great basketball, fun to watch. Young guys that you may see in the G League. You may see, Lindy Waters.
Yeah, Lindy.
He was with them for the first year. Ended up with the Thunder for a little while. Got some playing time with them. I heard they traded him off somewhere.
Yeah, he went to another NBA team.
Yeah,
but
the opportunity to see some, kind of like the up and coming acts, the opportunity to see some up and coming players. Even the high school basketball, you never know who you're going to see on the Sooners. But you never know whether you'll see them as a Poke or as a Sooner. So, there's always those opportunities.
Yeah.
It's not always about who's winning and losing and who your favorite team is. It's about who the opportunity to see.
Yeah, well, and then just entertainment, just coming out and getting out of the house, and like you say, you don't have to drive to Oklahoma City or Wichita or Tulsa and then worry about coming back or getting a hotel room. Yeah. You can pop over here, see a concert, and you're home in 10 minutes. I mean,
that's always been my pitch is, granted, you're not, if it's the big act, go to the city, go to Tulsa.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. But if it's an act that you really want to see, even if you don't, come out and be entertained and be home in 5 minutes.
I've had a lot of people, that have come out not I remember when Weird Al came, and everybody thought, well, that, and I had so many people say that was one of the best concerts they'd ever seen. So just go to some of these concerts, and you may find out that it's way better than what you expected.
Not only in my time of working around shows, but in going to shows, I've taken the risk of saying, I'm just going to go buy tickets for that. And I've discovered a lot of cool acts that I would have never thought of.
Yeah.
America, back in the 90s.
Oh, gosh,
I would have never thought of America until I worked the show, and I'm like, oh my God, that's great music.
Oh, that would have been great.
April Wine, same thing. So there's shows that just give us a chance. If we bring it, buy a ticket, and come in and be entertained.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of kind of one reason I wanted to do this episode too was the only way the Stride Bank Center is going to make it is if people in Enid support it. We've got to have the bulk of people coming to the shows coming from Enid. So So you guys have email, phone numbers, address. Please email them, call them, tell them what you want to see, tell them comedians, concerts, sporting events. I mean,
if we send out a survey, jump on it. And again, I go back to joining the Cyber Club because that's where we send a lot of constant contact type emails out. Don't mark us as spam. Don't opt out. Use that as an opportunity to hear what we've got coming. Use that as an opportunity to tell us what you think. And guys, I'm okay with hearing the bad, because we're not perfect. We're trying real hard to get ourselves better every day. If you see something wrong, tell me about it. Let me know. My email is jeff.bemis, and that's BEMIS at oakviewgroup.com. So jeff.bemis at oakviewgroup. I can't talk. oakviewgroup.com. You'll screw it up now because I can't talk. But reach out. I mean, the phone number for the building's in the book. I won't give you my cell number because y'all stalk me.
Yeah.
No. Don't hesitate to reach out. Tell us what you think. Give us some good ideas. Be constructive. I know Curtis gets the same thing we do with those keyboard warriors. Come on, folks.
Yeah.
Don't be positive with us. We're excited to be here. We wanna make this a going venture and have a great time with everybody that comes in the building.
Yeah, I mean, it's built.
Yeah,
I know there was
here.
controversy, but it's built. It's been here for years. Let's just support it.
Yeah.
You guys come out and, like you said, be a part of the Cyber Club because you'll be able to get tickets a day earlier than everybody else, which, if you're wanting prime seats, is kind of a big deal.
And if it's a quality act, not that we don't bring every act isn't quality. I shouldn't have said it that way. But if it's a hot act that's going to sell quick, you want to get that pre-sale. It's the same with any venue you go to. I'm always looking for pre-sale codes. I'm Googling pre-sale codes everywhere I go, joining clubs, whatever, so I can get the best tickets I can get.
I've done it myself. Yeah, so go to the website. You guys have a link on your website.
A link on our website, but Ticketmaster.com, the app, StrideBankCenter.com. Don't Google it. Just StrideBankCenter.com. Mark it so that you can go there every time. Get your tickets early and often, and man, just come on out and let us entertain you. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
We want to see your smiling faces.
Exactly. And Enid Buzz wants you guys to get out of the house and just do stuff. And so that's why I'm always going around trying to find, what's going on in town. And so
it's cooler inside than it is outside right now.
Yeah, so. Definitely. So, again, the more that we can get people to come to concerts, the more concerts you guys will want to put on, because if you're selling tickets, you're just going to keep putting on more acts.
Yeah, I mean that's truly the bottom line. We have to. It has to be supported.
Yeah.
And the fuller the building here is, the more fun I'm having.
Yeah, and if you have not, if there's somebody out there that has not been to a concert at the Stride Bank Center, or if you're out of town watching this, there's not a bad seat. No. The worst seat is like one of the top tier seats you might be at the BOK or
Paycom.
There's just not a bad seat in the place.
I mean, that's what he said is perfectly right. Unless you sit on the floor and you got a big goofy guy like me standing in front of you, there's not a bad seat in the house. And the place, when we've got a full house, I mean, Jeff was amazing. It was fun having a full house, hearing the place laughing constantly.
Yeah, so, and I asked.
Come be part of it.
Yeah, and I asked if what people thought, and it was overwhelmingly positive. And everybody. And if you are, just since you threw that out there, if you are at a concert and there's a big guy in front of you, find one of the people on the floor that work for the Stride Bank Center, and they'll help you probably remedy that situation.
What we end up probably doing is reseating you. We'll find another seat as good, if not better, that we can put you in. Years ago I did a Neil Diamond show, and I learned a lot from their security that, when you buy a ticket for that seat in that section in front of the seat. So I know people get grumpy when people stand up in front of them all night.
Yeah.
Different people are entertained differently. Different people rock out differently, or whatever they're doing differently. And some of us stand up and rock out.
Yeah.
And just understand they're okay standing up in front of you. The floor isn't always the best place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely
but
not.
I'm a firm believer. If you're not in the first few rows of the floor, sit up on the sides if you don't want to have to worry about a big goofy guy like me standing in front of you. So if you have questions about seats and you come up here and want to talk about how to buy a seat and what seats to buy is going to work best for you, don't hesitate to ask. We'll all help you get there.
Okay. Well, good deal. Any last thoughts before we get out of here? It's been great getting all this information. Anything that I've forgotten to ask or that you wanted to talk about real quick?
No, I think this has been a great conversation. I appreciate you doing it for us. Let's do it more often.
Okay.
Let's talk more often. Folks, please come out and support the building. Like Curtis says, it's built. I wasn't here when all that went down. I know there's those thoughts, but folks, it's built. It's a great place to be entertained. It's a great gathering place, whether it's for a ticketed event or a party or whatever it is you're being part of. We're here for you. We'll do everything to make your event the best it can be and entertain you and let you have a great time.
Yeah, and if you guys couldn't understand Jeff earlier, or you can't find his contact information, email buzz@enidbuzz.com. Ask any question about the Stride Bank Center. I will make sure Jeff gets your email. You can call me, whatever. But I'm here to support the Enid, the Stride Bank Center, and just try to get more people to come out. And I just know that watching other things around the country and stuff, the more we support this place, I promise you, the more acts they're going to be able to bring in.
It's a confidence thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It boils down to that I know that if I bring in XYZ, it's going to sell.
Yeah.
We're going to put people in here. And again, you don't have to be a fan of XYZ, but you may never know.
Yeah.
It'll be the most awesomest music you ever heard in your life.
Yeah. Just get out and enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff. Well, I appreciate
Curtis,
it.
I appreciate you.
Till next time I come by, we'll see you guys later. And check out the podcast on all your podcasting apps. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you guys are just listening to the podcast, you can go to YouTube, youtube.com/EnidBuzz, and you can watch these interviews if you like to watch rather than just listen. Check it out on YouTube, and we'll be back with another episode soon. Thanks, Jeff.
Come let us entertain you.
Yep.